JKB back with another episode. Today on the show I'm doing Fallout 4. Thank you so much for this review copy, Bethesda. And let me introduce the game by showing you the coolest glitch I came across, which would respawn me about, 100 meters above the ground, causing me to die instantly in an infinite loop of death. Thank you so much for watching this. Let's get into the review. But first, let's see this cool glitch. Fallout 4 starts in a pre-war setting, which gives you a kind of a look into the world before it is destroyed by nuclear war. This also serves as an introduction to your character creation system. The character creation screen in this is awesome. I love the ability to switch between the male and the female and decide what they look like. I personally chose the female and made her look as gorgeous as possible because I like the ladies. It also affects the way your baby will look, but on top of that, it also does recognize your name. So I would name my character Jennifer or whatever it may be, and Codsworth, the first companion you come across, your home robot who kind of takes care of the house when you're not around, he will say your name.
Miss Jennifer, Sean has been changed, but he absolutely refuses to calm down.
And there's over 1,000 names, I believe, that he can say. So this is pretty cool. The character creation is cool. Beginning of the game is awesome. And then when he says your name for the first time, wow, I feel like I'm in the world. This is awesome. Many years after the nuclear war, you emerge from your underground bunker known as your vault. Your son has been abducted. It is up to you to figure out exactly what has happened to your son. The gameplay is very similar to Fallout 3 in regards to completing quests and acquiring experience points to level up your character. You can play in first and third person perspective, and you are open to do anything you wish. You will also have a companion that will assist you in battles and help you loot the land. You'll have up to 13 companions that you can choose from, which is amazing replay value, and the dialogue is different for each of them. The companion system in the game is introduced to you through a dog known as Dogmeat, and your character for the first time ever speaks in a Fallout game. And I thought, wow, this is awesome. I get my own dog that I can send out to fetch or attack or check out situations or even grab items and bring them to me. But overall, you have 13 different companions, and let me just say off the bat here, because I want to get this out of the way, companion system is cool and it's awesome to use, and the abilities are awesome, and they're all unique to each character, and you can level them up by finding these cool little comics that are scattered throughout the wasteland. But in saying that, your companion is a goddamn idiot. He will block you, he will cock block you in conversations where he will come in front of you and just block the scene out so now you don't know what's going on. He will cause you to fail missions by simply alerting the raiders that you are there by, Codsworth will just, "Good day, sir, I'm going into battle." And you're like, no, stop. And you try to do it. No, he's already in there. Thanks. Now the ghouls are kissing me with their teeth on my neck and I'm dead. Thanks. So yeah, companions, good, but really, really, really frustrating, and hopefully a patch comes along and saves the day, because I want to kill them when they block the doors. I honestly feel that the story is decent enough to be in a Fallout game. It becomes sort of a side thought, though. Your main motivation is lost within the massive amount of choice that is given to you right away. The story is quite interesting at the beginning because you are left with trying to figure out where's your son, but the moment you leave the vault and realize it's a Fallout game, you start to realize, like, what? Son, forget that. Like, I'm gonna go eat a mole rat for dinner and I'm gonna hunt and I'm doing that. And 50 hours later, you're like, oh crap, my son. So does the story work? I mean, eventually you will finish the main story campaign and be a little disappointed with the endings, which I won't spoil for you, but overall, story is decent enough. I mean, it's like the bare bones story that you can put into a Fallout game because there's so much else going on, and the stories you will come across, even if they're mini stories, can be compelling at times. And that surprised me because Bethesda, in my personal opinion, is not the best at telling a compelling, emotional story. So to come, I'll get it at the end of the review. I'll tell you when I almost cried. Characters, facial animations, and overall designs are extremely dated. The characters' animations are stiff. The characters' designs are stiff and dated. There's so much in the game that feels dated, but overall, I've never felt like Bethesda was really, really good, again, at conveying those emotions through their characters. Characters have always looked stiff and very just jaggedy, and it just still is dated in this game. And in moments at the beginning, you are taken out of the game because it looks like it's a game from 2005, and there's not much you can do about that. You're just disappointed. You can now leave conversations. You are no longer stuck talking to an AI character. You can continue to work around you on your settlement or loot items as the dialogue continues. I do like the ability to be able to back out of conversation. I hated being stuck back in the day in these conversations. Now, if you just talk to somebody by mistake, or, well, here's another thing, it is very glitchy. So you'll hit like the X button to talk to somebody, and you'll have to hit it like 9 times sometimes for them to interact with you. And sometimes they'll just say like, hey, what's up? And you're like, no, I want to trade with you. And you have to be at a certain degree around them. And if you're not in this perfect position, they will just be like, leave me alone, or like it's so bad at times that I've mistakenly like punched somebody, and then the whole settlement wants to murder you. You put your gun away, and apparently they're supposed to be like, oh no, he put his gun away, let's forgive him. But no, that I've never seen that. So be careful. Don't accidentally hit one of your AI friends, because it will turn into chaos. And the ability, again, to back out of a conversation, I love it in this, because you can keep looting the environment around you if you want to be an asshole and steal things, or if you just are like, screw this mission, I don't want to do this with you, peace out. The game features very in-depth crafting and modding systems. All the loot and junk you pick up is no longer pointless. You use this junk to build settlements. Within your settlements, you will be able to mod and concoct drugs, which will be very useful with dealing with enemies. The looting system is so crazy in this game and convoluted, but in saying that, there's a reason you're collecting that much junk, which I'll get into later. But I do kind of wish that when you looted an enemy, you would see some of the stats beside those weapons to know to pick it up or not. But again, it is an RPG, and you have to pick it up to know if it's going to be better or worse than the items you're carrying. So I just feel like, wouldn't it be cool if they just put like a plus or a minus, sort of saying like, yeah, it'll be better, but you need to pick it up to figure that out, or don't pick this up, it's a complete waste, or maybe you want to scrap it. But again, I'm not going to knock points off for that. I do feel the looting system is way better than Fallout 3 this time around, because the junk goes to something, which I'll explain in a second. Power armor is designed to feel like a vehicle. The suit can also be modded, which is great to see, but overall I feel the suit wasn't worth investing too much time into earlier on in the game. As you progress in the story, you will want to take care of your suits. The power suit is awesome. I love that you get it right away in the game, but it is a little tedious to use because you need to use fusion cores to power the suit. I'm not going to go into super detail, but you can mod the suit, you can use it, you can not even use it. You could just leave it at one of your settlements and let it collect dust. I mean, let me give you a word of advice. Take out your fusion core if you are in a field and you want to collect things and you want to run around without the suit on. Do that, because there are enemies that will steal your goddamn suit and murder you. Yes, that is right. People can steal your suit if the fusion core is left in it. I've seen characters get into it and realize the fusion core isn't in it and come out of it, and it was like, wow, that is good design. The game includes over 50 base guns, which can be crafted with a variety of modifications such as barrel types and laser focus. With over 700 modifications available, the game never feels stale. You can also mod your armor and power suit. the amount of weapons you can come up with the mods on top of them is just, I think it's like over 700 variations. And it is spectacular to use all these different weapons. And it's a driving force to pick up that junk. Because for the first time ever, the junk is used back at your workshop, at your settlements. So a settlement is essentially a home base. And there's many of them around the giant map. And as you go through the game, you open up different ones. And there's a lot of confusion involved with your settlements, but you can dump your junk off and also dump your junk into your companions. That sounds strangely sexual. So Codsworth, which is even weirder, I'd sleep with a robot. You can bring him back to the settlement with all of your junk in him, which sounds so fucking weird. And then going back to me, I have all of my junk in me, and you put it into your workbench. And now you use these items to mod. And if you're wanting to install a mod that you haven't been able to do yet, yes, it ties into your point system, because I haven't even talked about that, but all of your point system and your leveling up is heavily involved with everything you do in the game. So you level up your gunsmithing abilities, then you can take your gun into the workshop and then mod it. And once you start modding those things, that's when the game starts to open up and you realize, wow, collecting this junk is amazing. But not only that, if you see a mod you like, you can tag items that are missing, and then when you come across them in the open world, it will notify you with sort of a little what the fuck are they called? Micro. I lost my mind. It'll notify you. You need to pick up this item to use it on that mod. So it's an amazing system. The looting system is cool. I do wish that, again, when you're looting, it would show you if you need to upgrade based on the level system. But whatever. It's very, very, very good. VATS has a new slow motion system where enemies will still move but in slow motion, making encounters much more intense. Either using VATS or not is enjoyable based on the new gunplay mechanics. The VATS system now lets the enemies move in very, very, very slow motion, which brings a new level of intensity to Fallout 4 and the series that I think has been needed, because you'll be sitting there and an enemy running at you and you turn VATS on, he still is coming at you. He's still coming at you, and you realize, holy shit, I gotta act fast. I gotta select these and do it. It causes this hysteria and this intensity that hasn't been in the game before. I absolutely love it. I love using VATS. But in saying that, some of the weapons I feel personally are better to not use in VATS, because they've revamped the whole gun system and the way the mechanics work, and it feels much better when the frame rate isn't dipping below 20, but it does feel amazing to be able to use, a submachine gun on a ghoul without using VATS, to be able to just spray bullets across the screen and know that you're actually shooting people this time around and it's working is awesome. Some might consider the biggest problem with Fallout 4 to be the lack of tutorials. Did you know there was a basic cover system in place? I bet you didn't. I'm kind of curious on knowing how many of you knew there was a cover system in Fallout. Probably like less than half of you. And that's because there's no tutorials, no hand-holding, and absolutely no notification, as I choked to death, to tell you that half of this stuff is in the game. This game is about discovery. It's an RPG. It's not meant to hold your hand. It's meant to be a discovery. You figure it out. It's an adventure. You go online, you figure it out. The point here is, do you knock points off of a game for not having tutorials? Well, listen, when you're building a settlement, which is sort of a home base where you will have all of your workbenches, which will let you mod your weapons and do your chemistry work or mod your power suit, you kind of do want some sort of tutorial to tell you, like, this is why you're doing this and this is how it works. And unfortunately, in this game, they don't have that. Would I like to know that there was a cover system in Fallout 4? Yeah, kind of, because the enemies can, do it. Why can't I? So, again, tutorials, I'm not going to give it a negative score for that. But in saying that, the settlements are kind of pointless. They're useful in certain regards when you want to get, new items and whatnot. You'll see a lot of new scavengers showing up with items that you can trade with, and it's awesome to see that. But overall, you don't even need to build a settlement. You don't need to do much with the settlement. Once you've built the first settlement, that's it. You'll come across tons of different bases around the open world, but you don't really need to do anything with them. But a lot of people will. So in saying that, I'm kind of like, it's 50-50 for me. I don't, whatever. It's fun to do, but you don't need to do it. Graphics are only slightly improved over Fallout 3 and Skyrim. It does feel like it is extremely dated with its poor animations and just lackluster character design. Loading times are a huge issue with Fallout 4. From simply leaving an elevator to entering a building, you'll be spending a great deal of time watching loading screens, and this is ridiculous. Since I started playing the game, I never felt part of the world. I didn't connect with anything. It's a video game. I wanted to feel like I was connected to the characters, but I just didn't. Until I had one special moment with Codsworth that changed everything for me. There was a moment with Codsworth that changed everything for me, where I actually got a little teary-eyed. I was like, wow. And it was this moment where he came up to me and he's like, am I family? And I was just like, yeah, whatever. And he kept talking about how long he had to wait for me before I came out of the vault, which was like 200 years. And he talking about how he moved on and everything. And I started to realize this is just a robot telling me this, and there's no real emotion on its face. And that's where the game finally got me with emotion. So I have to say that was a compelling moment for me. So there are compelling moments in the game, but playing a game like this, you will do it simply just for the modding or the leveling up system, which I hardly touched on, which I'll do right now really quickly. There's like 275 points you can get, I believe, for your leveling up system. So it's like, how long will you be playing this? You'll be playing this game forever. The companions add a new replay value that wasn't there in the past, so you'll be going back with different companions and going through the missions, hearing different dialogue. That is a huge plus. But why do you play a Fallout game? You play it mostly for the adventure, to figure out things, and this has the unbelievable, it's just like, I can't even comprehend how big and massive this game is. It's unbelievable. So in saying all of this, I'm going to give Fallout 4 an 8 out of 10. The reason it isn't a perfect game is because it is dated. It has the glitches. You will encounter glitches that may cause you to lose your save file. The music alone is one of the biggest draws for me because of the emotion and the fact that you can put on this 1940s, 60s, 1940s and 1960s sort of music as you're playing again is awesome. What else do I really love about the game? Lots of it. I love the exploration and the quick time events that will happen as you're just randomly walking around the wasteland. You know, a radioactive thunderstorm will happen, which causes you to take radiation poisoning on. And it's like, wow, this is so well thought out. But then the way I can explain Fallout would be like an artist painting on a very crappy old canvas, something he found in a gutter. And it smells like crap. It kind of is ripped in certain areas, but he paints this amazing painting which tons of people want to look at and they want to experience, and they see different things in it. And that's really what Fallout is. It's a painting that was on a really shitty canvas. And unfortunately, you know, that's what held the game back. That it's so dated. So I know that I didn't cover everything in the game in this review, and I didn't want the review to be 20,000 hours long. So what I'm going to do on the channel, I think in the new year, is come back with not a part 2, but just sort of a follow-up of what has happened since I've been playing the game, and if I've noticed anything, have they patched it. But again, 8 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching my review of Fallout 4, and it took me hours and hours and hours and hours, and I want to thank you for waiting to watch for this review. And I know that it could have come out a little bit sooner, but thank you. I still have a backlog of reviews to cover, and I'm gonna get on those right now. Thank you.